40 points to 21, a very good win for the All Blacks in Eden Park. The streak continues. 32 years since the All Blacks lost there. And no, I'm not an All Blacks fan. I am wearing this cap. I am a neutral. This was a gift, so don't worry about that, Ireland fans. But a really good performance for the All Blacks today. Not so good for Ireland, but we're going to get right into that. The final whistle's just gone right now. I will also be doing a player ratings for both these teams literally right after this. So for Ireland fans, the player ratings might look a bit ugly for some of the players, but for the All Blacks fans, it's going to be really good, really positive. But we talk about some of the players now. We'll talk about some of the performances, some of the stats. But before we do get into it, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I really do appreciate all the support. We've just hit 3,000 subscribers now. We're trying to go for 10,000. So thank you so much for all the support. Of course, All Blacks fans and rugby fans, the greatest rivalry series is up and coming now next month, the next few weeks. I will be covering every single game, doing player ratings for every single game for both teams as well, all the club games as well. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So if you do enjoy the content, please hit the subscribe button and stick around because it's going to be very fun. So let's just look at some of the summary of the stats for the game. So 6 tries for the All Blacks, 3 for Ireland. 5 conversions for the All Blacks, 3 for Ireland. 198 carries for the All Blacks compared to 120 for Ireland. Already there, Ireland making a lot less carries than they used to. They had a lot less possession. They had 46% possession when normally they dominate the possession stats. They dominate the territory stats. And Ireland only had 43% territory as well. 218 tackles for Ireland, 161 tackles for the All Blacks. 10 line breaks for the All Blacks and only 5 for Ireland. So not the best game for Ireland at all. Really, it just seemed like Ireland was out of it from the get-go. And just looking at it from this perspective as well, 9 entries into the Ireland 22 for the All Blacks. 4.4 average points scored per entry. You're not going to win a game if you allow a team to score 4.4 average points at this level. I mean, 9 entries, 4.4 average points. Those points rack up. Of course, Ireland did alright to get 7 entries with 3 average points scored, which is decent. I mean, Ireland is very clinical when it comes to entering the opposition 22 and leaving with points, but still, from a defensive standpoint, Ireland were not up for it today, and credit has to go to the All Blacks because they were everywhere today. Players looping around the corner, making extra numbers out wide, players like Will Jordan kind of slicing into the line, guys like Josh Morby, really interesting way of running lines today. The way the All Blacks played today was a lot different than we've seen from them in the last few years, and all it took was players just playing with their natural ability. Really, all it took was them just going back to that natural ability, not trying to play too structured. Of course, there's always a structure to follow, but the thing with the All Blacks is, if you just let them play what's in front of them sometimes, tell them to play as fast as possible, get the players as fit as possible, they will be a team that can beat any team in the world. And we saw that today from the All Blacks. They looked incredible. Guys like Will Jordan was awesome today. Josh Morby was awesome. Having Tupou Vi at number 6 really added a lot of power, a lot of size, and just a lot of kind of physical assurance today for the All Blacks. They looked like a really physical team today, and just a quick shift like that, putting a really big player in the number 6 jersey, changed a lot of things for them today. Because I thought Tuipulotu was good at lock today. I thought Josh Lord was awesome at lock today. And the guys that came on as well, Segner when he came on was good. Amua was good when he came on. Xavier Numia was good when he came on. The entire bench came on and made a good impact. And then guys like Damian McKenzie at the back played with so much confidence today. And I've said it many times before. A guy like Damian McKenzie, it's either, for some fans today, they'll think, oh, Damian McKenzie wasn't good because there was a few mistakes. Then other fans will say, no, he was brilliant today because the things he did that were positive were extremely positive. I'm more towards that side. I think Damian McKenzie was extremely good today. He was busy. He broke the line. He was very physical. He was throwing his body around. Yes, he missed a few kicks for the goals. Well, he missed a kick for post at the end of the game, but he's not the main kicker for the All Blacks right now. He's the backup kicker, and just having him in that role where he doesn't have to focus on the kicking for goal, he can just focus on his game. That's when he plays his best. He was absolutely awesome today. I thought Quinn Tupaia and Geordie Barrett in the centres, they are building something extremely special. And Cam Roycott didn't even have his best game at all today. Still had a good game. Guys like Ruben Love had a much better game today, much more solid game. Obviously, I would still like to see a little bit more from Ruben Love. But that being said, the whole All Blacks team today pitched up. But everything worked well for them. And just the skill set of some of these players. I mean, not even just Will Jordan and those guys. Like Josh Lord with the decision to knock out the back, to play the short ball to Patrick Tuipulotu after the whole build-up phase there. Every single ball for the All Blacks went out the back. The one ball that went short Tuipulotu scores. I mean, that just shows where the All Blacks are going right now. They're going back to that natural ability, playing with that incredible skill, incredible mindset, with an incredible pace and intensity as well. The All Blacks were all over Ireland today. Early on in the game, you could see Ireland weren't in it. They were playing flat. There was no speed. There was no intensity. There was no rhythm to their game. I think that's the one key thing. The All Blacks did not allow Ireland to get into their rhythm. There was a few patches in the game where we started to see the rhythm. I mean, those magnificent play where Joe McCarthy had 2 massive runs and eventually scored. That's where we saw the rhythm. Other than that, there was nothing going on, and you can't really blame it on one player. I know a lot of people are going to blame a lot of things on Sam Prendergast, but realistically, if you're a 9 and a number 10, your forward pack's not going forward, nobody's running with motion, nobody's running with speed onto the ball, nobody's getting that front foot ball, you're always going to be a sitting duck at number 9 and number 10. Sam Prendergast did okay with what he was given. I thought any 10 today on the park for Ireland would have struggled completely. I thought Frawley was decent when he came on, especially later in the game. Not really anybody played well for me from Ireland. I was actually very disappointed in Ireland's performance today. The last 3 games on the tour as well. Now, Australia, they weren't good. They somehow snuck through with that one. Against Japan, still not good, but a much changed team. Once again, playing like the Australia game, not winning the stats, not winning the battles, not winning the physical battle, not playing with intensity. Against the All Blacks, you're not going to win a game like that. So Ireland have a lot to work on. Definitely, maybe I'd say, have really been stagnant since the Six Nations. They haven't gone up, they haven't gone down. They've just been about the same level now, which is not a good sign. And I was really excited to see how Ireland was going to do after those games in the Six Nations where they played some really good rugby. I mean, these 3 games, they were just poor. They were average at best. I mean, I thought they were going to come here and get a lot better. They were looking like they were on the right path to being extremely good again. They just didn't play good rugby, and I don't know what it is right now. I can't pinpoint it right now looking at these games, but the one thing I did see today was a lack of urgency at times, especially on attack. Of course, on defense, you always have to be urgent, otherwise the All Blacks will put 100 points on you. Of course, they were physical at times, but still, just that lack of urgency of running onto the ball, playing with motion, aggressive cleanouts. Things just didn't go Ireland's way today, and I mean, those days do happen, but I think they need to sort a few things out before the World Cup next year. So let's look at some of the other stats throughout the game. Of course, starting off with 22-meter entries, All Blacks with 9 entries, Ireland with 7, 22-meter conversions, 4 for the All Blacks, 3 for Ireland, line breaks, 10 for the All Blacks, 5 for Ireland, carries, 198 for the All Blacks, 120 for Ireland, already there. Big mismatch there because Ireland loves their carries. They love being in control of the ball. They love having possession. They love playing on their terms. And today the All Blacks did not allow that. 24 kicks for the All Blacks, 15 for Ireland. Not the best kicks for Ireland either. Just the same old contestables that didn't go their way. Whereas, and also a lot of the kicks for Ireland as well were just survival kicks. Get the ball downfield, get the All Blacks away from our half. That's what was going on for Ireland. The All Blacks had attacking kicks, grubber kicks, 50-22 kicks into the corners, finding space the whole time, mixing that with box kicks, with contestables. The All Blacks played a really smart kicking game today, and they used their momentum to their advantage to get the best out of their kicking game as well. So I thought they played very smart. Post-contact meters, 171 for the All Blacks, 142 for Ireland. Not that much for both teams. It just shows that both teams are quality defensively and have very good tacklers as well. Now looking at the defensive profile, where you can really see where each team made a difference on defense. 9 dominant tackles for the All Blacks, only 2 for Ireland. Already there you can see the All Blacks had the much better dominant game, physically more intense. They were just up for it more today with 7 more dominant tackles. Tackles made 218, Ireland were forced to make 161 for the All Blacks. Normally Ireland likes making less tackles, likes the other team making more tackles, wants the other team to really be tired by the end of the game. They want to have the ball for most of the time. It just didn't go their way. I mean, all these stats just show that Ireland weren't up for it today. 32 missed tackles for Ireland, 15 for the All Blacks. That is a very bad stat for Ireland there. Turnovers 1, 5 for Ireland, 4 for the All Blacks. Tackle turnovers 2 each. Tackle offloads allowed, 15 for the All Blacks and 7 for Ireland. So realistically today, Ireland were not up for it. And you can just see with the player stats as well. All the player stats show that those All Blacks players really stood out today. 10 points for Ruben Love. The last try scorer of the game was Anton Lienert-Brown. 16 carries for Quinn Tupaia, who I thought was brilliant today. This guy's playing some brilliant rugby. And I think that Damien De Lindy, Jesse Kriel versus Quinn Tupaia and Geordie Barrett battle is going to be absolutely incredible in the greatest rivalry series. 22 tackles completed for Joe McCarthy. I thought he was one of the better players for Ireland. Tide Burn was a bit non-existent today. He tried his best. Josh van der Fleer got dominated today. James Ryan was nowhere today. I mean, I couldn't see him today. I thought Joe McCarthy was okay. Dan Sheehan, okay game, not really anywhere. I mean, Tide Furlong didn't see him much either. Tom O'Toole, not his best game either. So for the entire pack, Jack Conan as well, no go forward. Just they were struggling the whole day. And without a pack that really gets that go forward ball, with a pack that's not playing with that intensity, a pack that's getting dominated, the whole team will get dominated. It makes 9 and 10's life difficult. McCloskey and Gary Ringrose couldn't get any front football. Balakoon had no space today. Jimmy O'Brien as well, no space. Hugo Keenan had nothing to work with as well. So the All Blacks did really well today in making sure that Ireland had nowhere to go. They could do nothing all day. They were just a sitting duck the entire game. I'm actually surprised Ireland scored 21 points with how their game looked, because there was no period in that game where I thought Ireland looked dangerous, like they looked good, like they looked like they were going to get back into the game. There was like no period at all. So a very poor performance for Ireland, but the player ratings will show that later. Don't worry about that. So 3 line breaks with Josh Morby. He was brilliant today. He's such an elusive runner. Good footwork, physicality as well, working off his wing. I really like Josh Morby. And I heard from the commentators that he spent a year playing on Montpellier, came back last year. Now we played in the Super Rugby, and we know how good he's been in the Super Rugby. So you have to give credit where it's due. Josh Morby definitely will be a starter going forward, because he was brilliant. 2 turnovers, 1 for Quinn Tupaia. Potentially my man of the match. He was everywhere today. 8 defenders beaten for Damien McKenzie, and he is a fullback. He's not a fly half, he is a fullback. The way he runs onto the ball with speed, his playmaking ability, the way when he gets out wide, just to dummy the first defender there, create the space, get the offload to the outside backs. There's going to be a lot of tries scored out wide this year because of Will Jordan and because of Damien McKenzie for the All Blacks. 104 successful passes for Cam Roigard, but I wouldn't say it was his best game today. It was an okay game for him, but still, the All Blacks getting a win, 40 points to 21, while Cam Roigard didn't have his best game. That is very impressive. So Stuart McCloskey with 4 missed tackles as well today. Not a good stat. Sam Prendergast with 4 and Jameson Gibson Park with 4. So 12 missed tackles between 3 players, and one of those players is in a key position as well for Stuart McCloskey, and of course Sam Prendergast as well. So not the best stats there. Tackles completed, Joe McCarthy 22, Jack Conan 18, and Tide Furlong 17. So those guys were made to work hard today. They were forced into those tackles. They were forced to work hard. But at the end of the day, they just weren't going to win this game because Ireland just didn't pitch up. I'm going to say it again. They just, from the start of the game, they were flat. There was no intensity. And if you're an Ireland fan right now, I would understand your disappointment, because I've been watching Ireland play now since the end of last year, seeing that they're going through a nice progression now. They're getting a lot better with every single game. And these last 3 games have been a bit of a backward step, in my opinion. I mean, some very good players. I mean, Sean Janssen, good to see him on the field. Didn't really do much either because the guys around him weren't doing much. But it's almost as if Ireland just accepted defeat at times. They didn't want to impose themselves. But maybe the All Blacks just played that good, that the All Blacks are playing like the All Blacks of old and just dominating every single statistic on the field. So I will say, if the All Blacks can play like that against my Springbok team, there's going to be some very close games in the greatest rivalry series. But let me know which players you thought stood out. Let me know which players you thought was the best from Ireland and New Zealand. I really am not positive about Ireland after this game. Very disappointing performance. But the All Blacks, a phenomenal game. They were swinging the ball out wide, playing with their natural ability, that natural flair, so much pace, so much intensity, a lot of variation to their kicking game as well. The All Blacks are looking confident. The All Blacks are getting back to their best. Dave Rennie is getting the best out of this team. For Ireland, though, a lot to work on, but a long break right now, and it's definitely needed. I mean, a lot of these guys have been playing a lot of rugby. It's time for them to have a break. Later on in the year, Ireland will be facing up against Argentina, South Africa, and I think it's Fiji as well. I'm not too sure. I think it is Fiji. So a lot more games to come for Ireland this year. Good that they're having a break now, but let me know which players was the best for you. Let me know your man of the match. For me, I'm personally going to go with probably Quinn Tupaia. I thought he was excellent all day, but a lot of the players were excellent. But Quinn Tupaia is really showing that he is one of those world-class centers right now. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.